Hi, I'm Connie Chitwood-Vu, Director of Clinical Education Services at Insulet, and besides being a certified diabetes educator, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 36 years ago, and I also wear the Omnipod to manage my diabetes. I would like to thank you for choosing the Omnipod system. You're not only getting the most advanced tubeless insulin pump on the market, but you're also getting the support of a company full of passionate employees like me who also use and trust in the system. The new PDM and the smaller pod don't just look different. There are also changes in the way the Omnipod system functions. Screens and menus on the PDM have been redesigned, and there are additional options to customize alerts and reminders. And as always, there are many features to ensure safe use, and this training will help you understand key improvements in the Omnipod system. It highlights some of the most important changes so you can make a smooth transition. A reminder, please check your blood glucose frequently. As with any change in your diabetes care routine, you should monitor your blood glucose levels more frequently. The new Omnipod is a change to your routine. Notify your healthcare provider if your blood glucose test results are outside the goals your provider has given you. This training will take approximately 20 minutes of your time, and it is divided into 4 sections. In Section 1, I will introduce the new Omnipod system conversion kit and assemble all the necessary supplies and items needed to get started. In Section 2, you will learn about the new features of the Omnipod system. In Section 3, I'll review how to set up the system for use and how to activate your new pod. Then in Section 4, you'll learn about the new Omnipod system safety features. One of the most important parts of this training is to remember that because the system is new, it will likely require you to perform tasks in a new way. I hope that showing you proper techniques will help you have a great experience with the new Omnipod system. While we have endeavored to make the conversion to the new Omnipod system easy, it's important to remember that the Omnipod system is a medical device and therefore requires caution and careful attention to instructions. Section 1, our conversion kit. I'm going to start at the beginning of our training journey by asking you to participate with me. First, I'm going to ask that you stop whatever else you may be doing and pay close attention for the next 20 minutes. I will also ask you to perform specific activities at certain times and to read the screens on the Personal Diabetes Manager, or PDM, out loud as I go through the training. We've learned that those of us currently using the system do better when we slow down and actually read the screens on the PDM. Since it's always a good idea to perform a blood glucose check to make sure your blood glucose is not too low or too high before trying to focus on a task, let's pause for a minute for you to check your blood glucose. Now, let's get started. I'm going to begin our training by opening the box you received with your new Omnipod insulin management system. Inside the box are several important items that will be helpful during this training. To make sure you have a seamless transition, I'm going to review the important information enclosed. Your conversion kit includes a welcome letter that contains critical information about the new Omnipod system enhancements. Please read it carefully. The new UST 400 user guide. This contains detailed information about your new Omnipod system, and it is a great resource for you to refer back to from time to time. The Getting Your Settings for your new PDM booklet. This resource will help you find and record your personal diabetes management settings. As a current Omnipod customer, take these settings from your blue PDM. And the Omnipod System Quick Start Guide, this resource will guide you to set up your new PDM with your personal settings, activate a pod, and begin insulin delivery. Your new UST 400 Personal Diabetes Manager, or PDM. There are many exciting changes in the way the PDM looks and works. Your new pods. The new pods are smaller, slimmer, and lighter, but they still hold up to 200 units of insulin. In addition, please locate your current UST 200 blue PDM, an alcohol swab, a pen or pencil, your vial of insulin, and an accurate clock, such as your watch, alarm clock, or mobile phone. If your insulin is in the refrigerator, please take it out now so that it can warm to room temperature. In your book, Getting Your Settings for Your New PDM, turn to the page My PDM Settings and follow these instructions to find and record your settings from your current blue PDM. Again, turn to the page My PDM Settings. Be sure to check and enter your settings very carefully. This booklet will guide you in getting your personal settings from your current blue PDM. These settings are unique to you, and they are required to get started on the new Omnipod system. Section 2, Review Omnipod System. The new Omnipod has the same features you love, but now there's more built into an even smaller package. The pod features are designed for convenience and safety. The new pod is smaller, slimmer, and lighter. Though the pod is smaller, it still holds up to 200 units of insulin. The pod is still waterproof up to a depth of 25 feet for up to 60 minutes. The pod still has a viewing window for checking the infusion site. The cannula is tinted light blue. The pod has an additional safety feature, the pink slide insert, to help determine whether or not the cannula has fired. If you clearly see the pink slide insert on the pod housing, it means that the cannula has deployed. The housing on the new PDM is black with dark gray buttons and lens. The new PDM has 3 primary screens: the new ID screen, the status screen, and the home screen. The ID screen is the first screen you will see every time you turn on your PDM, or when you insert a test strip into the test strip port. The ID screen can be personalized by adding your name and choosing a screen color. The ID screen must be confirmed each time you use your PDM. After you identify the PDM as yours, press the Confirm key to continue. Now, let's review the status screen. When you confirm your name on the ID screen, the PDM displays the status screen. The status screen shows the current operating status of the pod. The new PDM considers both the correction and meal bolus for insulin on board, or IOB, and displays each on the screen. You can see the current IOB on the status screen highlighted in blue at any time. It allows you to have added confidence with your insulin delivery. IOB is calculated based on meal and correction boluses when the suggested bolus calculator is turned on, so you can easily see the amount of insulin still working in your body from a previous bolus dose. To learn more about the IOB, please refer to your user guide. And as always, once you set your basal program, the pod continues to deliver your basal program 24 hours a day, even if it isn't near the PDM. Now, let's review the home screen. The new PDM has an updated home menu with different locations for the reference food library and BG records. The food library is located under More Actions, and BG records are located under My Records. The home screen lists all the major menus. Always be sure to read and follow the exact instructions provided on the PDM. Setting up your PDM using the Omnipod Setup Wizard. For this step, you will need an accurate clock, such as a watch, alarm clock, or a mobile phone. You will also need your personal settings from your current PDM to enter into the new PDM. Turn to the page My PDM Settings to find the personal settings you have accurately recorded from your current blue PDM. Now, let's take your new black PDM out of the box and insert the AAA alkaline batteries. It is a good idea to pause for a moment and enter the phone number to customer care into your cell phone, 800-591-3455. Next, you're ready to enter your personal settings into your new black PDM. It's important to enter them accurately using your My PDM settings. The Setup Wizard appears the first time you turn on your PDM. It will guide you through the setup process. Section 3, Activate a new pod. I will now show you how to activate the smaller pod with your new black PDM. Remember that the new PDM only works with the new smaller pods. This means that you cannot use your new smaller pods with the current blue PDM, and your current pods will not work with the new black PDM. Take your blue PDM and deactivate the pod you are currently wearing and gently remove it from your body. Set the blue PDM aside and move it out of your way. Let's carefully review the new features for new pod activation. The fill needle that is used to draw insulin from the vial and then inserted into the fill port is much shorter than the previous fill needle. In order to develop good technique, it is important to follow these steps carefully. The needle cap cover on the pod is larger in size to make it easier to remove. A new PDM screen note reminds you not to remove the needle cap until instructed to do so. A new PDM screen message reminds you to listen for 2 beeps after filling the pod. You will hear a louder click when priming has started. As you begin using your new PDM, it is a good idea to read the screens on the PDM out loud as you begin performing tasks. It is essential that you follow the instructions on the PDM screen when you fill a new pod with insulin and develop good technique when performing this task. The instructions in your Omnipod Quick Start Guide are a great resource for you to use to walk you through the steps for activating your new smaller pod. Once your black PDM is set up, it will ask you if you would like to activate a pod. Follow the instructions on your black PDM to activate a new pod. Before you apply the pod, gather the following: a vial of room temperature rapid-acting U100 insulin, an unopened pod, including syringe and needle provided with each pod, an alcohol swab. Wash your hands with soap and water. Clean the top of the insulin vial with an alcohol swab. Remove the fill needle and syringe from the pod package. Twist the needle clockwise onto the top of the syringe. Do not use any other type of needle or filling device besides the syringe provided to you in each pod. Remove the syringe protective cap from the needle. Draw air into the syringe equal to the amount of insulin you will use. You must fill your syringe with at least 85 units of insulin. Place the vial on a table, then insert the needle into the vial and inject air, being careful not to cause bubbles in the insulin. Air into air. Tap or flick the filled syringe to remove any bubbles. Remove the needle from the vial and insert it into the pod insulin fill port located on the underside of the pod. An arrow on the white paper backing points to the fill port. Do not inject insulin into any other location on the pod. Leave the pod in the fill tray while you are filling it with insulin. To ensure proper fill, insert the needle straight and all the way down. Inject insulin into the fill port. The pod will beep twice. Do not use a pod unless you hear a double beep after filling the pod. Remove the needle from the insulin fill port. When you're activating a new pod, the pod must be placed to the right of and touching the PDM to ensure proper communication. Press Next on the PDM. The system performs a series of safety checks and automatically primes the pod. You will hear a loud click when priming has started. After filling a pod with insulin, be sure to activate it within 60 minutes. Begin insulin delivery. Follow the instructions on your PDM to begin insulin delivery. First, select your infusion site. Let's review the pod placement guide from the user guide to help you decide where you would like to place your pod. Next, you are going to prepare the infusion site. Use an alcohol swab to clean the site. Let the site air dry. Do not blow on the site to dry it. Remove the clear needle cap on the underside of the pod by pulling gently but firmly upward on the outermost edge. Remember, the clear needle cap is larger to allow for a better grip when removing it. Verify that the pod is ready. It should be clean and dry, the adhesive pad should be intact and undamaged, and the pod should be intact and in its original condition. Also, verify that the cannula is not extending beyond the adhesive backing once the needle cap is removed. It is best to check the cannula by bringing the pod to eye level for visual inspection. Using the pull tabs, remove the white paper backing from the adhesive tape. Apply your pod to your selected site. Use your finger, seal around the adhesive edge. Press Next on the PDM. The pod's automated cannula insertion makes it easy to begin insulin delivery. Press Start on your PDM. A click indicates that the needle has inserted and retracted, placing a short, thin tube called a cannula under your skin. The cannula will deliver your insulin. Your pod automatically delivers a small bolus to fill the cannula with insulin. This is called the prime bolus. Look through the pod viewing window to check the cannula. The soft cannula is tinted light blue. Check the infusion site to ensure that the cannula was properly inserted. Check the surface of the pod. You should be able to see the pink slide insert in the window on the top surface. Your status screen will appear. Press Yes to confirm that the cannula is inserted properly. It is a good idea to check your blood glucose about an hour and a half to 2 hours after each pod change, and to check the infusion site periodically. And your new PDM will automatically remind you to check your blood glucose 1.5 hours after each pod change. Now, let's review the final segment of our training session on safety features. In addition to the new Omnipod system's many safety features, there are also vibration modes available to complement existing PDM reminders so you can be even more discreet. For certain reminders, you can choose vibration instead of beeps or vibration followed by beeps. When you activate vibration, the PDM will vibrate for blood glucose reminders, missed bolus reminders, custom reminders, or no active pod reminders. To set the vibration option on the home screen, select Settings. Select Vibration, select Vibrate. The system uses alerts or sounds to get your attention. The system sounds an alarm and displays an on-screen message on your PDM with instructions for resolving the alarm condition. Attending to these conditions promptly will ensure safe operation of your Omnipod system. All advisory alarms are time-sensitive and require a response. Some alarms escalate to hazard alarms if you do not respond within a certain time. Hazard alarms warn you about a pod or PDM hazard condition. They must be resolved promptly. Hazard alarms are continuous tones. Each one has an on-screen message. The PDM displays a message describing the alarm and how to resolve it. Follow the instructions in the message to resolve the alarm situation. Be sure to respond to all advisory and hazard alarms when they occur. If you have any questions about setting up your new PDM, please call customer care at 1-800-591-3455. Customer care is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you have any questions about your individual pump settings, please contact your healthcare provider. As with any new system or change, it is always a good idea to check your blood glucose frequently and contact your healthcare provider with any questions about your individual settings. And remember, you can receive additional training on the system at myomnipodtraining.com. I hope you'll enjoy your new Omnipod system as much as we have enjoyed building it for you. On behalf of all of us at Insulet, thank you for your continued loyalty.